Hey everybody. I figured I'd take a second and show some more pictures because it was pretty easy when I did it last time. That's me, and then that's my buddy Stetson there. We were hanging out. This is down by Soy Cowboy, just on the side streets. Not in it, but on the streets on the side. Um, let's see. So yeah, that's that. Downtown Bangkok. Had some lasagna. Wasn't too bad. It could have used some more flavor, and the pizza it was okay. I was at this place down in Bangkok there, but it was pretty late at night when we got down there, so really couldn't be too picky on what was there to eat. This is me probably the next morning. Double bags on my eyes there. It was a rough one, but I didn't feel tired, but I was hanging out with the soy dogs here, out in front of the 7-Eleven, had a cup of coffee, and watched traffic go by with these guys as we were hanging out. There's another one down there, laying. So that was pretty funny. Yeah, they hang out right in front of the store, just lay down, and they wait for they wait for you to go in and out so they can feel the air conditioning is what it is, because it's really hot actually. So there's the street. There's a parking lot right where you see these colored buildings. There's a street way over here. When you go, there's a street that these are on, and you go all the way up the street, and then that's where I was staying. It was right over there, so I come down the street there, and then you walk all the way down here, and then the 7-Eleven was over here. And this was I guess you'd call it a river, I guess, that ran through. You had to cross over, and then on the sides, people living on the river, fishermen or I guess whatever. But yeah, pipes. They have a walkway here. The walkway goes all the way down, and it goes down for quite a ways actually. I don't know how long exactly, but it was at least had to have been a mile at least down the river. That the wooden walkway goes all the way down. And then yeah, more traffic. These things, they call them birdies. But man, I put down so many of these things. They're like little coffees, and they are just absolutely delicious. Oh my god. We were on the beach, and this, I don't know what was all in this thing, but it was just insanely good, and the sauce was awesome. They were cooking it, and I couldn't pass it by. But yeah, that's whatever that is. McDonald's. The patty looked kind of weird. It was kind of dark. I don't know if you think the same thing, but it was pretty dark. So I don't know what kind of meat that really was. I didn't really ask any questions. I got this in the airports. Over the trip, I did 12. I was on 12 flights in 17 days between leaving my house and Thailand and Phuket, and or Bangkok, Phuket, and Cambodia. So it was pretty crazy. 17 days. It was really exciting. But yeah, McDonald's. I ate it. Don't judge me. This is the place I stayed at in Phuket, the Himapan. I got shot a video on this during the day. You could check that out. But really cool. Got the cool little lamps and all the garden and everything. I saw this and it was kind of cool. And but they have a billboard sign there. And let me see if I can. There we go. Cool. There you go. So it's wrong to do that. No Buddha heads, not on tattoos or anything. So I stopped. I was on a scooter. This was my first day in Phuket, like day. Shot of the place during the day. Here's a lizard right here in the tree, and at this Himapan, there was all kinds of wildlife and stuff that would come in and out. It's really pretty flowers and whatnot. But yeah, this lizard was one of. He would run around and eat all kinds of stuff. It was kind of cool. He kind of made. And I wouldn't call us friends, but Nayang Beach, absolutely gorgeous. Nice soft waves rolling in. Great place to take a nap. More shots of the beach. More shots of the beach. There's a sign for the beach. More shots of the place. My buddy. I thought this was funny. I was leaving. This is Phuket. And then playing with tigers in enclosure without chains. And, you know, you're not going to put me in there. I didn't go see it or anything. I just thought that it was funny that they would advertise it like that, you know. Wow. I went back to Bangkok. This was after I left Phuket. Went back to Bangkok for another day or so, 2 days. And we took this boat up in Ayutthaya. I'm saying it wrong. I know I'm saying it right. Ayutthaya. And then we got in this wooden boat. It was 800 baht. And this lady here standing on the front of the boat, this lady, she was actually drove us around. She was super cool. She waited. She was really good at actually driving the boat, man. She's really good. All the stops that we pulled up to, just because it's all wood, and then she would just barely, not even tap the dock. I mean, she was just perfect. The little docks we pulled up to see these watts, and you'll see some of the pictures. But it's driver, and then this is the lady who rented us the boat. I'm not sure who this. Oh, this guy was on this little red dinghy thing. Yeah, he pulled up. They were some kind of fishermen or something. Yeah, it was really, really cool to be on the river. It's like a circular kind of river, and this vegetation stuff is all over. Some of the Buddhas. At one of our first stops, you can see that this one's got a ton of heads, and they there's a lot of variations on that Buddha. You can see the elephant guy. He's over here. I thought the ship was really cool. They didn't have the water filled or like ripping it. It seemed like this place, this one temple, this Wat, was kind of under construction a little bit, I guess you could say. But yeah, all kinds of, I guess you call them idols or whatnot. Tons of these. And when you see this stuff in person, I mean, it's like you turn it. When you see this, you actually turn a corner, and it's just like, whoa! Look at all those things, and these are just each one of these little figurines, all painted and pretty wild. Very detailed on the shutters, all wood. Really, really cool stuff. And this thing is massive. This Buddha is massive. I mean, even though you see like this lady or whatnot here standing here, you can't. It's really hard to even describe and how like massive this thing is. You just walk into the room and you're like, holy cow! It just blows you away. Ivory tusks there. It's hard to see what's inside the case, but the case was just awesome. Just really intricate. Yeah, I mean, that thing is just huge. I still don't think you can really see how huge it really is. There's a spiral staircase on the back of it. This is his back that you're looking at here. All this, and this is the drape. Like you saw the front of him. This drape here is this here. So these guys, there's one guy that runs up this spiral staircase, and he stands up here on this platform, and he is the receiver, I guess you could say, of the robes. And then all in the ceiling, there's each one of these little alcoves, little cubbies, is filled with a little Buddha. I mean, there's tons of them all around the place. It goes all the way around the place. There's got to be thousands of them. I guess you could count. It's in a grid, but I'm not going to do that. There's a lot of them. And they want you to, put some money in there and stuff like that. I did. I think I put a couple $100 baht or something in there because it's so cool to go and see. I mean, it's really amazing, and some of this stuff is actually really, really old. So there's that Buddha again. I mean, when you see it, it's just absolutely beautiful. And this will give you an idea. I mean, there's a guy, and these are regular sized Thai guys, so I guess they're 5'6", 5'7" ish, I guess, and around there. Yeah, but you can see it, that there's a thumbnail and there's the guy's head. I mean, thumbnail is 3 of his heads, 4 of his heads, so pretty massive. I mean, just huge. And then these people that you see way down here, they all give an offering, right? And they buy these robes from a guy that's over here off to the side. You can't see, but he's like around the corner a little bit, selling these robes that they toss over the Buddha. So these guys end up coming down, and then there's a guy up there on the stairs that you saw, and these guys collect all these robes, right? After these people buy them, and these robes are really, really long. So these people down here drape the robe over themselves, and then this guy, he's down here, he tosses it up to this guy, and then all as they pull the robes up, this, he ties them together. The guy up here hoists them up, and as they tie the robes drag over these people and up over the leg of the Buddha and up over the hand kind of as well. It was really, really a cool thing to see. So back on the river, all that vegetation, apparently all this vegetation is edible, but I mean, it was just covered. It was just covered. And that really cool. Along the river is really neat, really interesting to see how, some of the places are really full of locals. And when you pull up to these places, I mean, they're just really, really nice, really decorated, nice, really cool tree. Interesting flowers. Shots of the and these types of things was inside the place that the picture I just shot, but you'll find these all over Thailand. If you don't know, well, you'll go in and like there's these little ones over here, and they're all in people's houses in the front yards and whatnot, and it's to keep away the spirits, so you can go and make an offering, and you'll see them all up and down the streets and everything, and people will stop and leave something to eat or whatnot in front of them as an offering. This is we stopped along the river, and then we were in this place. It's really, really beautiful, really decorated, really nice. These were stone statues that were outside. There was quite a few of them. Some columns there. Another one there. This is only one shot, but these Buddhas are actually like lined up. I'm sure they're really popular pictures. I'm sure you've seen them with all these little sitting Buddhas lined up. This is where you see those, and each one of these pedestals is actually decorated differently. And what I found out when I was at this place is that somebody buys this, and that's they pay for it, and the more they make, or the more they pay for it, the better it's decorated, obviously. And this is the original lying Buddha, because there's another lying Buddha, and I shot a video of that, but I don't think I uploaded it yet. I'll have to do that. But yeah, this is the original lying Buddha. This thing is apparently really, obviously super old, as you can see. A little bombed out, no more roof on there. But yeah, there's a little peeking at him through the window. I thought that was kind of a cool picture. So yeah, really cool courtyard. Just wanted to check out their architecture was really cool. When you're standing in the middle of this courtyard, it's really, really beautiful. And I actually took off my shoes and walked around in the courtyard. It was really neat. Tower is really nice. It's like kind of that Khmer style. The tower is, this white tower is really actually old, but you can tell as traveling from Cambodia to Thailand, you can see some of a lot of similarities, obviously, but a lot of differences as well, even in the way they look. Thais look a lot different than Cambodians. In here is another Buddha. I don't know if you can really see it, but there's another huge Buddha in there. I didn't go up there. All of this was, I guess, decorated at one time, and here is some of those decorations that were popped out. I guess, I don't know, just old, broken people doing crazy stuff, but those inlays that I just showed you were actually all around all of these. You could see where they were inlaid. This is actually a lot nicer, and it is interesting. I thought this was kind of interesting too. The runner is almost like something you'd see in like more Dutch, which there was actually one picture somewhere of a Dutch couple in one of the Watts, like a man and a woman, which is really strange that you'd see a Dutch couple on a painting in a Buddhist Wat, but totally right there. There you go, pretty doors. These were the first 5 kings. Yeah, the first 5 kings of Thailand. There, so. This is another popular spot. It's interesting that I, see these pictures, because you see them all over the internet too. And then when you take your own pictures, they're like, holy cow, it really does look like that when you're there. And it's pretty awe-inspiring when you see all this stuff. There's one dead on. They were doing some construction. You can see that on the tower. This was I guess the original capital portion of it, and this was all burned down at one time. Scratchings and carvings, I always think those are kind of interesting. Oddball scratches. More shots of the brickwork. You can see where there used to be carvings and whatnot on all these, but it's all gone. All these red bricks are actually the under, like the it was all kind of stuccoed, plastered like that, and then they'd carve that. But all of this that you're seeing is actually the support brick that they would lay before they would plaster it. So it would look, similar to what you see here, how it's all plastered. But it turns out like that because it's the underlay. Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat is built the same way. There's more shots of these. This is inside those. You can see that. I'm walking inside, and I get inside. I take the picture there. Looking up at the ceiling. It's kind of an odd ceiling in that one. Have to get another shot. And more rows of these Buddhas again. This is like the other temple we were at, but this one again was apparently burnt down, and there's evidence of that like all over the place. I mean, charred and stuff, and yeah, more shots of that main tower. It's really cool when you're standing there. It's really, you don't see stuff like that now. And then these are the, again, going into the towers, there'd be Buddhas in there. And then in places you can see how they pinned it. The sculpture was made with the pin there. That's the roof. It's just broken out. You could see where it was all carved at one time. Looking down the row, it's always neat how you see this. Looking through these like hallways where there's that effect, the visual effect is just so cool to see it in real life. I guess you can always pause it if you wanted to see them, but this was showing because I noticed this root, this is like a tree bark or something. There's no tree here though. This all around here, there's nothing there. This goes underneath the ground right over here, and then you can see I pointed out the burn. Kind of, it looks like it's still charred, right there and whatnot. I mean, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, if you don't know me or something, but yeah, that totally looks like a burnt piece of wood to me. Been in a few bonfires, and that's why I had her point it out, kind of, or she was pointing to it. Let's see. This one had some of the little dots you can see there carved in there. Here's another one showing how ornately it would have been carved. Back on the river. We stopped and had some lunch. Fish was good. Then they put the rice in the shape of a turtle. Kind of cute. Went outside to have a smoke, and fish in the come right up to you. It was pretty funny. That's where I was staying in Thailand. Conversion. Thought it was all wee white coffee and Black Canyon coffee. Interesting. Cambodia airport, Siem Reap. Coming off the plane. Going inside. The picture looks warped. A couple of them are like that. It's really kind of a little odd. Runway, or flight deck, or whatever you guys call it. It's my buddy Chang up there. It was good. He took me around in the Superman Tuk-Tuk. You get a lot of people in the back of that. Streets of Cambodia. This is when I first got in. Dropping us off. Standard Cambodian street. This was getting into like Angkor Wat territory. Yeah, because this was driving past Angkor Wat. Yeah. I didn't see this lady. I don't know what she was selling, but I would have bought it had I seen her. Bought a whole bunch of stuff to eat. Angkor Wat. This place is pretty crazy when you walk up to it. It's kind of like surreal. Pictures of the side of the road. Going. This is going into Anchor Tom, and you see the lined up all along the sides here, both sides, and each side holds up a snake. There's like, I don't know, what, 50 of those guys on each side. This one looked like he had sunglasses on. At the entrance to Anchor Tom there. And this is after Angkor Wat is through here, and we're driving into Angkor Thom. I shot this out of the back of the Tuk-Tuk. Let's move my mouse there. The monkeys were hanging out on the side of the road. Lots of monkeys around. Lots of monkeys. That's what I was taking pictures of there. Getting into Angkor Thom. I mean, the place was like just blown apart. So these are all actually like pieces of it laying around. I don't know. I've never taken one of these big tours like with all these people, and I was looking at them, and I didn't know that I would exactly like to, kind of be shuffled through. I mean, I'm sure like they're putting out good information and they just tell you all kinds of cool stuff, but I kind of like the solo thing or one-on-one tour, or a couple other people or whatever, but not a big group. These two guys were drawing out a map. I don't know. It's not too often that you see two guys drawing out a map in the dirt nowadays. So they actually commented. They said something, but you kind of tell what they're saying. They're like, "Look at this guy. He's taking a picture of us drawing a map." Is pretty much what they said. Sounded like, and they laughed at me, and but I mean, it's something that I just don't see. So, more of these bricks laid out everywhere, and these little helicopters right here, they fall from the tree, and they have those two sprouts. I think I got shots of them in the other video. Stacked up blocks that are all carved. People throwing their cigarette butts all over, even as a smoker, or one day former smoker soon. But yeah, I don't throw my cigarette butts down. I keep them I got a little pouch in my bag, and I collect them and take them with me. And if you're visiting someplace, you should be mindful and not drop garbage, because it not only does it really piss the people off that work there, and I actually had a conversation with a guy, but it's just kind of disrespectful, man. So pick up your shit. Angkor Thom. That's coming up to it. You'd see all the faces in there, all these windows, and there's just so much of it. It just blows your mind. Just how much of it there is. These things, I have no idea what these were. I traded them for a beer. I didn't know if they were eyeballs or testicles or livers. I don't know. I gave them to some guy. I tried one and it just didn't sit right, and I was like, I gave them to some guy, and I ate the slaw though. The slaw underneath it was freaking awesome, but that meat, something else. So it had rained, and the humidity in Cambodia was unlike anything I've ever freaking experienced. It was, my whole body just like busted out into a sweat. They're really into Chelsea there, Chelsea football club. That team is like Thailand too. They love that Chelsea stuff. It's all over. But pull tab beer, you'll see there. You don't see those anymore. I had never drank of pull tab beer before, so not only did I get to have like an amazing Angkor Wat experience, I sat there and had a beer and a smoke, and I looked at this massive place, and I ate that slaw, and it was a good moment. It was definitely a good moment right there. I went out to dinner with Chang, and then we sat down at this like bed thing. They're like big beds or whatnot. So it feels like kind of like a VIP section, you know. And this chicken was hanging out there, and then there was another chicken squawking, and then I guess that's her chicks right in there. But yeah, that's what's going on. That was dinner. This is frog pieces, and this was, I don't know what this salad was, but this was good. Chang ordered that, and then beef fried rice, but yeah, everything was absolutely delicious. Food was awesome. Standard Cambodian bathroom, man. There you go. That's what you get. So, if you got to drop number 2, you know, I had diaper wipes with me. And you know, diaper wipes and Ziploc bags, you know, when you're those are 2 things that, you know, I brought an abundance of, and man, they were both so freaking handy. You don't know the value of a Ziploc bag and a diaper wipe, but they just are amazing. So yeah, standard Cambodian bathroom. That's how they do it. The pail and is to flush, basically, because there's no flush. You have to fill it with water. This was the day after. We actually, this night, we drank 7 buckets of beer. Man. So the next day I needed a little bit of grease, and that was, and Chang dropped me off at the airport there, and got a little flame grilled goodness in me. They give you chili sauce, and I wasn't messing with that the day after, you know, drinking. I just ate the burgers and got on the plane. Just getting on the plane. Cambodia was nice. It's very flat. It's very it looked pretty flat where, I mean, at least where I flew in at, you know, it was very sparse, I guess I would say. The buildings are all spread out. Nothing over one story. Man, I found this. I just thought it was funny. I just had to buy it, so I bought it. There you go. I think that's it. It's the end of my slides. So, until next time, everyone.